Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session on Decoding Budget 2021. Our keynote speaker for today is Mr. G.V. Giri. Mr. G.V. Giri is the head of Institutional Equities Research and strategist at IIFL Capital. He has been with IIFL for 14 years now. Prior to this, Giri has had stints with banks and telecom infrastructure companies. He is an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and IIM Ahmedabad. This session will be moderated by Shweta Papriwal, editor at IIFL Securities. Over to you, Shweta.
So today we have Mr. Giri to give us a perspective on the budget announcements that were made today by our finance minister. So Mr. Giri, I think the market has already given its verdict on the first budget of the decade, with the benchmarks ending higher by approximately 5%, which the government is claiming as having the vision of Atmanirbharta. So in that context, I would like to know what is your take on the budget? Also for our viewers, any key highlights you would like to focus on?
I think it's a major positive surprise. This budget has been having positive surprises for many sectors. Some have got left out, like pharma or IT did not have anything, but all the domestic focused sectors have all seen some major thrust. The major highlights would be to start with, we found out in the last minute of the budget that there are no new taxes.
Correct.
So that's, I think, where we start from. And the market must have been expecting that, during times of COVID, etc., the talk of COVID cess, etc., must have definitely been impacting stock prices of many consumer discretionary items. I think many of them, whether it's auto or air conditioners, etc., the fact that more income has been left in the hands of consumers suggests that the market will reward these stocks beyond the movements seen today. Then the second big thing was a push on infrastructure, especially railway orders and um construction of infrastructure and roads, especially. And while stocks have reacted by 5%, 10%, sometimes even 12, 13%,
Yes, yes.
given the nature of these companies, that's a very small jump. So that's just the first day jump, and this could be just the beginning. And banks are somewhere in the middle of all this. I think the best banks probably saw 5 to 10% movement, but if the economy surges forward with growth, then growth usually takes care of NPA problems, and it usually brings in its wake, if it's a well managed and well planned growth, reduction in provisioning costs down the line, and as a percentage of assets, because assets grow very fast. So there are a number of sectors that will benefit, and I think uh, plays on the Indian economy, plays on the cyclicals, plays on infrastructure will all do very well beyond the stock price movements witnessed today.
Correct, correct. What about healthcare? That was also a focus of the budget today.
I think healthcare was the focus of the budget. Yes, that's correct. But if you notice, healthcare depends on poor levels of sanitation for acute therapies to do well. And of all things, the minister today announced 75,000 crores increase. Why on why?
Correct.
On water and sanitation. So if that much of cleanliness comes in, then acute therapies will be less in demand going forward. But I would still say that healthcare by itself did not see a quantum jump. Whatever allocations happened regularly, used to happen regularly, or were expected to happen in this budget have happened. So nothing really incremental for healthcare that will move the needle for them.
Correct, correct. So my next question would be from equity investing perspective. So in your view, which sectors and stocks stand to benefit from the budget announcements? Also, could you specify whether the benefit can be expected to accrue in short term or long term?
I think most of the benefits by the stock markets will come in the next 2 or 3 months. At least half the benefit. If a company like L&T starts uh, getting order inflow, which it has been getting, but if we see traction in that, then we'll see appreciation through the year in L&T. Same goes for banks. Same goes for construction companies also. I would say that look at in banks, look at ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank, Axis. Even RBL would be a good bet. I would also look at a general economy strengthening cap goods names. I would also look at truck names like Ashok Leyland, Chola, disciplined financing companies. Then in construction, my favorite companies would be KNR Construction, PNC Infra,
Okay.
Ashoka Buildcon, NCC. These all would be beneficiaries. L&T would be in the middle of all this. State Bank of India would be in the middle of all this. So all of the major banks, major infra companies, cap goods companies will do well. The water sanitation is also very positive for Voltas, Thermax, Viatech, Wabag. Then there is customs duty cuts on a variety of items, including jewelry, and jewelry would benefit Titan. And the stock is already moved, so I would probably mention it in the end of the list. So those will be a selection of names that will do well from this point onwards.
So our viewers have a list of stocks in which they can look forward to investing, and we can expect some kind of movement in those stocks, right?
No, there will
Uh,
be significant movement because I think you've got to also look at the fact that the government has decided that so far it has been operating under a fiscal constraint which is self-imposed, but in a nod to rating agencies, in a nod to observers which might otherwise criticize the government for being very profligate. This time it has said that COVID has given it the opportunity to loosen the shackles a little bit, so the gloves are off, and if the government raises the fiscal deficit to 6.8% from the regular target of 3.5% that it used to have before COVID, then that's not something the rating agencies will frown at. And if the government spends that much, then it has got to be very growth savvy. So I
Correct.
think these things are all medium term, 1 to 2 year progress expectations. So therefore, this is only the first budget. I would expect that just like we saw in 2020, we'll probably see intermittent announcements with some sector or the other seeing some reforms and stimulus.
Correct, correct. And so they have also announced mammoth numbers for spend on road infra in the states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, West Bengal, and Assam. And you already mentioned that you are positive on infrastructure sector also. So I would like to understand what is your take on this, and any particular companies you believe that will benefit from this numbers of or in these states, and also how should our listeners read the voluntary vehicle scrap policy?
Um, on the infra part, we have been very constructive on construction because that was one of the segments where the government would have been very mindful of multiplier effect. You can
Hmm.
employ a lot of people in construction, construction of real estate, of infrastructure. These are the biggest, most intense employment generators in the economy.
Correct.
And a thrust in these sectors would have spread the benefits of the stimulus wide rather than just give a narrow stimulus to one sector or two sectors. So
Mhm.
this was expected. And if you look at the earnings profile of construction companies, they saw the maximum downgrades during the whole of last year. And other sectors did not see that violent a set of downgrades. And therefore, I always thought that if the government plays its cards as we expect them to, then construction sector will do very well. So it doesn't surprise me that all of these road construction announcements have been done. There'll be different construction companies taking advantage of the activity announcements in different states. But if you look at the fact that the government has said that till now in the Bharatmala project, 3,800 kilometers have got completed. But
Yes.
this year alone, they're going to complete more than 8,500 kilometers. So there is a major acceleration also that the government is talking about. So after this, it won't stop. The clock won't stop here. So I think these companies will do very well. In terms of the scrappage policy, I think that's among the various announcements. That's not one of the largest announcements. Our auto analyst has explained already that this will affect a very modest proportion of vehicles, and therefore by itself this will not really make a big difference. But generally, the imposition of a new tax or increased income taxes is by itself a positive for the auto sector.
Auto sector, yeah.
And the auto sector will also benefit by the increase in customs duties and a bunch of auto parts. So there is some additional protection for domestic manufacturers like wiring, harness, and all have seen an increase in duties. So there is something in it for the auto sector also. My favorite stocks would be Motherson Sumi, Ashok Leyland, and allied to the theme would be Chola, Shriram Transport. All of these will do well.
Okay. Okay. And now coming to the divestment target of 1.7 lakh crore in FY22 playing out. So how do you read this? Including the much awaited LIC IPO and the two public sector banks plus one general insurance company now being proposed to be privatized. How should our investors view this going forward?
That's a good question because so far we've been used to a lot of disappointment following very tall announcements. But in this budget, if you see, this budget also comes after many budgets where we had many expectations and there were disappointments one after the other. So if the budget has been the subject of a major 180-degree turn, then we can probably also say that the government has demonstrated serious intent. And
Yes.
this time, with the level of the market, the Nifty is at 14.5,
Yes.
and now is as good a time as ever again to raise money by selling some of the prized assets. The plans are very interesting. The government has been a little bit more detailed in the annexures of the speech. If you see that they've said that in every sector except strategic sectors, they'll either shut down or they'll privatize all the PSUs. And in strategic sectors, they'll keep some critical PSUs, and even there, they would privatize most of them. So that includes a range of activities which were considered strategic. So an announcement like this itself is very interesting. If the execution of it comes through, I think we should see the 1.75 lakh crore number come through. Also, a lot of it depends on how much money comes in from FIIs on this. And while FIIs have been withdrawing money in the last few days, today was a U-turn that they would have had to do.
Yes.
And that money will come in and probably be a good support to the privatization efforts of the government because people will come and buy. There have been some concerns about the fact that every time the government puts a lot of PSU assets inside the ETF and sells the ETF, later on people buy the ETF and keep selling the assets. So the stock prices never really perform. So they've got to find some solution for that. But if they manage it correctly, and this government this year at least seems to have taken feedback to heart and implemented many intelligent suggestions, they should probably see something on these lines being worked out for the right approach to PSU disinvestments also.
Correct, correct. And what about this? The minister has also announced hike in customs duties, which you already mentioned about, which companies would stand to benefit. Can we also view this as a boost to local industries and SMEs?
No, SMEs have had many support areas. For example, if you look at the scrap duties, import duties on scrap, so a lot of recyclers are SMEs, so they've reduced the import duties. So for them, the raw mat cost will fall. Then wherever the SMEs are manufacturing end products where imports are also competition, like gems, garment, leather, handicraft, steel screws, and all, there the customs duties has been raised.
Mhm.
So uh, the SME sector has seen some support in this budget without any doubt.
You've already mentioned about the Titan stock, but what will be the impact on the overall jewelry sector in your opinion? And apart from Titan, any other particular companies that our investors should watch out for?
I think PC Jewelers and TBZ are companies which will benefit from the cut in customs duty on gold imports. And the cut is from 12.5% to 10%. There can be a marginal improvement in the reduction in the effect of smuggling also. At 10% also, smuggling will look attractive. So it's not a scourge that will go away very soon. But in terms of the legitimate imports of gold, that becomes cheaper. So the gold processing companies and gold product making, jewelry making companies will have that additional 2.5 rupees per 100 going into their pockets. They might probably, in view of competition, pass on some of these benefits to customers.
Customers,
So
yeah.
if customers see products becoming cheaper, they'll probably come forward and spend more. And of course, we remember that no income tax raise was done. So more money to spend and things become cheaper. So I think volume will accelerate for these companies.
Correct, correct. And what is your take on the fiscal deficit at 6.8% for FY22, while they've also raised the FY21 number at 9.5%? Is the number sufficient to push the Indian economy forward?
Yeah, because we have to look at it this way that when they spent this 9.5%,
Mhm.
that's the extent of borrowing, the government expenditure was about 30 lakh crores, and that represents about 6% or thereabouts Y on Y
Mhm.
in terms of government expenditure, whereas the overall economy in FY21 would have grown only by 0%. So nominal GDP growth would have been 0%. So within zero, the government, whose expenditure is about 1/7 of the total, has grown at 6%. So that has been a big support to the rest of the economy.
Correct.
Next year, the GDP growth is expected to be, nominal GDP growth is expected to be somewhere around 16-17%, the overall economy. And within that, the government is going to grow at about 9%. And 9% government growth within a 17% overall economy growth means that X of government, the economy would have probably grown by 18-19%. And that's quite okay. That tells you that this government has spent more than the rest of the economy when the economy was struggling, and is spending less than the economy when the economy is rebounding.
Correct.
So I don't think the government needed to spend more than this. If it had spent more, then there could have been inflationary blowback, and therefore the government could have probably seen its plans for spending and economy support get interrupted. So I think they had to choose, and they've probably chosen wisely. It's ultimately a judgment. My judgment is that this is about as far as they could have gone.
Correct. And my last question for you, Mr. Giri, would be, can you please name top 5 stocks which, in your opinion, stand to benefit specifically from today's budget?
I think we'll see State Bank of India, we'll see L&T, we'll see KNR Construction, we'll see Titan, and I would actually go with a private bank also, HDFC Bank.
HDFC Bank. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Giri. So we have the entire perspective on the budget. We know which sectors, will perform well, which are the stocks which stand to benefit from the budget announcements. And our viewers would have now understood and got a lot of knowledge about, how they should be planning their investing in equities and their strategy. Thank you so much, Mr. Giri, for your insightful session. We look forward to more such sessions with you. Thank you so much.
All the best.